Welcome to Books with Bib, episode 3, season 1. Previously, we left off on Actually, before we get started, I was going to head out tonight. I have a festival that my artist T-Script is performing at called Culture Fest in Philadelphia at Liberty Point. By the time this video comes out, it probably already happened, but have no fear, because there's always next year. You dig what I'm saying? All right, so before that though, before I head out, I figured let's just tap in with our third episode. We have many more episodes to come, but today we're gonna have a special edition where I do a little fit check. So comment down below if you think I put it on. You know what I'm saying? They got a little challenge. You know what I'm saying? I like to play my part. So, yeah. Check the steez out, friends and family. Ooh, what are we thinking? You know what I'm saying? I got that on. You can barely see it because of the filter. Oh, well. Thank you if you were watching this video. I hope by the end of it, you learned something new. I got this fit on. We're going to be reading, we'll be acquiring knowledge today. Hopefully with this outfit on, I'll be getting an elevated perspective, if you get what I'm saying. All right, so what page did we leave off on? All right, so today we'll be talking about the man who desired gold. So before we start, if you desire something, it means you don't have it. So very shortly, we'll be discussing tips and tricks to acquire, because my man Bansir, the chariot builder of Babylon, is having issues. So let us begin. Bansir, the chariot builder of Babylon, was thoroughly discouraged from his seat upon the low wall surrounding his property. He gazed sadly at his simple home and the open workshop in which stood a partially completed chariot. So, my man is just over here sitting on a wall after a long day's work, probably a little thirsty. And, he's looking at what he got and he's just feeling not content. You know what I'm saying? His wife frequently appeared at the open door. Her furtive glances in his direction reminded him that the meal bag was almost empty. And he should be at work finishing the chariot, hammering and hewing, polishing and painting. Stretching taut the leather over the wheel rims, preparing it for delivery so he could collect from his wealthy customer. So at least he got business. So he's not a failed chariot builder. You know what I'm saying? He has potential. A lot like a lot of us. So let's not hate on my man Bansir. You dig what I'm saying? Nevertheless, his fat, muscular body sat stodily upon the wall. Oh, lost my track. His slow mind was struggling patiently with a problem for which he could find no answer. The hot, tropical sun, so typical of this valley of the Euphrates, beat down upon him mercilessly. Beads of perspiration formed upon his brow and treaded down unnoticed to lose themselves into a hairy jungle of his chest. I'm cracking up. Such detail. Beyond his home towered the high terraced wall surrounding the king's palace. Oh, actually, let's make it a little roomier in here. Why don't we? You feel that warm tone I just activated? Let's keep it like that. So, where did I leave off? Beyond his home towered the high terraced wall surrounding the king's palace. Nearby, cleaving the blue heavens, was the painted tower of the Temple of Bel. Now, do keep in mind, this was a society that believed in many different gods, or I guess you could say idols. But you're gonna see names pop up of they're not very important, especially for the topic and the reason why I'm reading this book to you guys. So yeah, just think of it like side characters or something. Definitely not relevant. In the shadow of such grandeur was his simple home, and many others far less neat and well cared for. Babylon was like this, a mixture of grandeur and squalid, of days of dazzling wealth and direst poverty, crowded together without plan or system within the protected walls of the city. So when you think about that, basically it's you could find a place very similar looking in today's society, even. Quite frankly, let me just adjust this really quick. Oopsie. Fixing my vertical cam for TikTok and whatnot. My bad, friends. Give me 1 second. All right. So, yeah, so basically you could be let's say you were in a wealthy family. Your neighbor might not have, walls painted, or in this case, they might not even have all their walls completed. But it seems like, in cultures like that, it's very mixed, and you'll find the communities are generally very caring from like a basic human needs standpoint. So, everything has its good and bads, but this description is very broad. You could find something like this in today's day and age. Behind him, had he cared to turn and look, the noisy chariots of the rich jostled and crowded aside the sandaled tradesmen as well as barefooted beggars. Even the rich were forced to turn into the gutters to clear the way for the long lines of slave water carriers on the king's business, each bearing a heavy goat skin of water to be poured upon the hanging gardens. Bansir was too engrossed in his own problem to hear or heed the confusing hubbub of the busy city. It was the unexpected twanging of the strings from a familiar lyre, I believe that's lyre, that aroused him from his reverie. That means he was daydreaming, basically. He turned and looked into the sensitive, smiling face of his best friend, Kobe, the musician. All right, man. We love that. You're in a time of distress. You're daydreaming, not happy with life, and your best friend pulls up on you. May the gods bless thee with great liberality, my good friend, began Kobe with an elaborate salute. Yet it does not appear they have already been so generous, thou needest not to labor. I rejoice with thee with thy good fortune. More, I would even share it with thee. Pray from thy purse, which must be bulging, else thou would be busy in your shop. Extract but 2 humble shekels and lend them to me until after the nobleman's feast this night. Thou wilt not miss them, or they are returned. So basically his man pulled up on him. Kobe pulled up and he's like, yo, what's good, my man? You over here just chilling on the wall. Let me hold a couple dollars, man, since you obviously got money since you're not working right now. Funny guy, I can say the least. What? exclaimed Kobe with genuine surprise. Oh, I just skipped the whole, you know what I'm saying? If I did have 2 shekels, Bansir responded gloomily, to no one could I lend them, not even to you, my best of friends, for they would be my fortune, my entire fortune. No one lends his entire fortune, not even to his best friend. What? Exclaimed Kobe. Genuine surprise. So he's like, what's going on, man? He couldn't believe it. I guess Bansir is somebody who seems to be quite afloat in his daily life, which is good. You know, it's always great to carry yourself how you want to be seen. You know what I'm saying? Very important. Thou hast not 1 shekel in thy purse, yet sit like a statue upon a wall. So he's like, dude, you got no money right now and you just chilling? For real? Like, are you serious? Does that sound familiar? All right. Well, if the shoe fits, just keep watching. We got you. Why not complete that chariot? How else canst thou provide for thy noble appetite? 'Tis not like thee, my friend. So, like I said earlier, Bansir is a capable dude. He's a capable dude with great taste. He has a good job. He makes money. But he's broke. Does that sound familiar? All right, well, keep listening. I got you. This book got you. Okay? And many more to come. Thank you very much. Where was I? How else canst thou provide for thy noble appetite? 'Tis not like thee, my friend. Where is thy endless energy? Doth something distress thee? He's basically like, is everything okay, man? Are you good? What's wrong? Have the gods brought to thee troubles? A torment from the gods, it must be, Bansir agreed. It began with a dream, a senseless dream, in which I thought I was a man of means. From my belt hung a handsome purse, heavy with coins. There were shekels, which I cast with careless freedom to the beggars. Well, not saying giving to the poor is bad. But at the same time, if you're not in a position, then you need to wait until you are in a position to be giving. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't afford to give, then you can't afford to give. You need to be honest with yourself. There were pieces of silver with which I did buy finery for my wife and whatever I did desire for myself. There were pieces of gold which made me feel assured of the future and unafraid to spend the silver. So this is somebody who touches cheese. Pay attention, friends. This is a lot of us. And if it's not us, it's a cousin. If it's not a cousin, it's a sister, a brother, a cousin. I already said that. An uncle, a second cousin, a third cousin. You dig what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Yes. Right. And whatever I did desire for myself. Oh, here we were. To spend the silver. A glorious feeling of contentment was within me. You would not have known me for thy hard-working friend, nor wouldst have known my wife. So free from the wrinkles was her face, and shining with happiness. She was again the smiling maiden of our early married days. Wow, man. So, yeah, he's going through it. He is going through it. This might be a midlife crisis, and he is not happy with what he's been doing with himself. A pleasant dream indeed, commented Kobe. But why should such a pleasant feeling, as it aroused, turn thee into a glum statue upon the wall? Exactly. You yourself, when you have great ideas, do you get sad? Why would you do that? You got to put the same energy in that you would like to receive. Always good, always positive. Why indeed? Because when I awoke and remembered how empty was my purse, that's a lot of us after a weekend out. A feeling of rebellion swept over me. Let us take it over together. For as the sailors do say, we ride in the same boat, we too. As youngsters, we went together to the priests to learn wisdom. As young men, we shared each other's pleasures. As grown men, we have always been close friends. So Kobe and Banseer are like, is given Shaq and Kobe before the trade. You know what I'm saying? Before the arguments. It's given Shaq and Kobe the way the media wanted us to think it was going. You know what I'm saying? We have always been close friends. We have been contented subjects of our kind. We have been satisfied to work long hours and spend our earnings freely. We have earned much coin in the years that have passed, yet know the joys that come from wealth. Yet to know the joys that come from wealth, we must dream about them. Bah! Are we more than dumb sheep? We live in the richest city in all the world. So even they know, they're like, hold on. We got all this money in our country, but we broke? Us? Are we stupid? No, you're not stupid. Just pay attention. Because that sound like you. If it piqued your interest, that sound like you. We got you, like I said. We live in the richest city in the world. The travelers do say none equals it in wealth. About us is much display of wealth, but of it we ourselves have not. So, it happens, You see that fresh new car, that new lamb truck, you know what I'm saying? You got a new lamb truck in your city, and you pushing a Corolla. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Your time is coming. After half a lifetime of hard labor, thou, my best of friends, hast an empty purse, and sayest to me, may I borrow such a trifle as 2 shekels until after the nobleman's feast this night? So at this point, Banseer talking to Kobe, he like, bro, like, we both in the same situation. You over here asking me for like $2 to borrow till tomorrow? You don't got $2, Kobe? For real? Then, what do I reply? Do I say, here's my purse, its contents will I gladly share? No. I admit that my purse is as empty as thine. What is the matter? So he pressed him, because let's not forget, Kobe did pull up hot. He pulled up to the scene hot. He was like, bro, you broke. Like, what's going on? Oh, he was like, he was like, you obviously rich the way you chilling over here. Let me hold a couple, you know what I'm saying? He's like, no, bro, we in the same boat. Let's get out of it together. That's what Banseer's energy is giving. What's the matter? Why cannot we acquire silver and gold? More than enough for food and robes. So, you know what I'm saying? They've been alive for a while. So they're like, it's time. I've been able to, because the thing is, having a house over your head and having money for food, I get it. It is an achievement, but a lot of men tend to think from the perspective of, it's a necessity. It's a bare minimum. So our heads go to, you know, if we need this to survive, then, you know, the reward isn't, you know, it's not too crazy to have. So that's why men seek things of value, you know, because that's how we demark ourselves. You know, separate from the pack. I guess everybody wants to, you know, everybody wants to stand out. What did Young Thug say that one time? Everybody want to be a star, right? More than enough for food and robes. Consider also our sons, Bansir continued. Are they not following in the footsteps of their fathers? Need they and their families and their sons families live all their lives in the midst of such treasures of gold, and yet, like us, be content to banquet upon the sour goat's milk and porridge? You know what I'm saying? He's saying they got filet mignon, they got Birkin bags, and all I get is oatmeal? Some cold oatmeal? You know what I'm saying? I want that boba. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want all the fine things in life. That's how my man Bansir feels. And I'm sure a lot of us can identify with that. Just wait. In a couple chapters, you're going to be like, this might work. Never in all the years of our friendship didst thou talk like this before, Bansir. Kobe was puzzled. Never in all those years did I think like this before. From early dawn until darkness stopped me, I've labored to build the finest chariots any man could make, soft-heartedly, hoping someday the gods would recognize the worthy deeds and bestow upon me great prosperity. This they have never done. At last, I realize this they will never do. Therefore, my heart is sad. I wish to be a man of means. I wish to own lands and cattle, to have fine robes and coins in my purse. I am willing to work for these things with all the strength in my back, with all the skills in my hand, with all the cunning in my mind. He is ready. You dig what he's saying? But I wish my labors to be fairly rewarded. What is the matter with us? Again, I ask you, why cannot we have our just share of the goods so plentiful for those who have the gold with which to buy them? Why can't we be like those rich people? Why can't that be us, he's saying. Would I knew an answer. Kobe replied, did people talk like that back then? I think basically he's saying, I wish I could tell you. No better than thou am I satisfied. My earnings from my leer are quickly gone. Often must I plan and scheme that my family be not hungry. Also within my breast is a deep longing for a lyre large enough that it may truly sing the strains of music that do surge through my mind. So this is very colorful speaking, but basically all he's saying is he wants his wallet to match his mind. That's it. He wants his wallet to match his imagination. Also, I already passed that. Sorry, friends. Such a liar, I think it's leer. Such a leer thou shouldst have. No man in all Babylon could make it sing more sweetly. could make it sing so sweetly. Not only the king, but the gods themselves would be delighted. But how mayest thou secure it while we both are as poor as the king's slaves? Damn, they really hating on themselves. They said we as broke as slaves. But the thing is, so just for context, being a slave, like people sold themselves, their children into slavery back then. Slavery back then wasn't like it. The whole thing with the transatlantic one was because it was like one specific colored people. But back then, they were slaves of all colors. So, you know, people put themselves, if you couldn't afford like your kids, you would sell them into slavery. It was common. It was literally the border between poor and like there was a level below poor, if that makes sense. But anyways, Bansir's telling him, you should have pockets like that, you know? Or not pockets, but he said you should have an instrument. So I guess he said, as he said earlier, it's an instrument. I guess they have different levels. His is probably like, you know, base level or something. He's saying he wants to compete, all right, with the same people that play in the king's court. You know, he wants to be up there. No man in all Babylon could make it sing more sweetly. Could make it sing so sweetly. Not only the king, but the gods themselves would be delighted. I read that already. Thank you for your patience. But how mayest thou secure it while both of us are as poor as the king's slaves? Listen to the bell. Here they come. He pointed to the long column of half-naked, sweating water bearers, plodding laboriously upon the narrow street from the river. 5 abreast they marched, each bent under a heavy goat skin of water. A fine figure of a man he doth lead them, Cabby indicated by the bear of the paws. A fine figure of a man, he who doth lead them. Oh, so he's saying like he's a, you know what I'm saying? He's a good leader. Kobe indicated the wearer of the bell who marched in the front of without load. A prominent man in his own country, 'tis easy to see. There are many good figures in the line, Bansir agreed. As good men as we. Tall, blonde men from the north. Laughing black men from the south. Little brown men from the nearer countries. All marching together. From the river to the gardens, back and forth, day after day, year after year. Not of happiness to look forward to. Beds of straw upon which to sleep, hard grain porridge to eat. Pity the poor brutes, Kobe. Pity them I do. Yet thou dost make me see how little better off are we, free men, though we call ourselves. You know, at least they're honest with each other. You know, they're self-aware of their socioeconomic status, and they're ready to make a change. Does that resemble you? If not, I hope it does soon. Or, you know what I'm saying, if it don't even matter to you, you just over here listening for a good read and a good listen. I appreciate you. Thank you. That is truth, Kobe. Unpleasant thought though it be. We do not wish to go on year after year living slavish lives. Working, getting nowhere. Might we not find out how others acquire gold and do as they do? Kobe inquired. Perhaps there is some secret we might learn if we but sought from those who knew, replied Bansir thoughtfully. This very day, suggested Kobe, I did pass our old friend Arkad. Okay. the plot thickens. We have a new character. We have Bansir, Kobe, and now we have Arcad. Pay attention. It's getting interesting, folks. Riding in his golden chariot. This, I will say, he did not look over my humble head, as many in his station might consider his right. So he's down to earth, and we love that. You know what I'm saying? He made it out. He sees somebody that he knew, and he showed love. That's very respectable. Instead, he did wave his hand that all onlookers might see him pay greetings and bestow his smile of friendship upon Kobe, the musician. He is claimed to be the richest man in all Babylon, Bansir mused. So rich, the king is said to seek his golden aid in affairs of the treasury. Kobe replied, so rich, Bansir interrupted. I fear if I should meet him in the darkness of the night, I should lay my hands upon his fat wallet. Homie said he gonna rob him if he see him at night. Hey, yo. I'm cracking up. Nonsense, replied Kobe. A man's wealth is not in the purse he carries. A fat purse quickly empties if there's no golden stream to refill it. He just dropped a gem. Are you listening? I'm gonna read that again. A man's wealth is not in the purse he carries. Meaning, it's not in his pockets, it's not in his wallet. A fat purse quickly empties. That wallet gonna dry up. Them pockets gonna dry up if there's no golden stream to refill it. So what does that mean? It means stop looking for that quick fix. Okay? Build a foundation. Build something that works while you're sleeping. What do we call that? I think it's called passive income. Keep listening. We're gonna get you right. Arcad has an income that constantly keeps his purse full, no matter how liberally he spends. Income. That is the thing. Ejaculated Bansir. Whoa. What is... Hold on. Income. That is the thing. Ejaculated Bansir. I wish an income... That was so delayed. I need to update my my drivers for my Stream Deck. But if you're watching on YouTube Shorts, I'm definitely gonna edit that, right? Okay. I wish an income that will keep flowing. So basically what he meant by that is like he just spurted it out, I guess. Yeah. I think. I wish an income that would keep flowing into my purse, whether I sit upon the wall or travel to far lands. Arcad must know how a man can make an income for himself. Dost thou suppose it is something he could make clear to a mind as slow as mine? So, alright, well, basically, he's about to find out the real way to make money. It's not with your time. Maybe in the beginning, but not. You gotta level up. If you don't get that, you will soon. Methinks. I'm gonna just say I think, because that's proper English. You dig what I'm saying? I think he did teach his knowledge to his son, no, monsieur. Kobe responded. Did he not go to Nineveh, and so it is told at the inn, become without aid from his father, one of the richest men in that city? So basically, Arcad didn't help his son out, and his son figured out how to acquire wealth. So Arcad is somebody that knows the art of money making. This is getting interesting, friends. Kobe, thou bringest to me a rare thought. A new light gleamed in Bansir's eyes. It cost nothing to ask wise advice from a good friend, and Arcad was always that. Never mind, though our purses be as empty as the falcon's nest of a year ago. I'm cracking up. They're so colorful in how they describe things. Like, a falcon's nest a year ago, like, okay. Let that not detain us. We are wary of being without gold in the midst of plenty. We wish to become men of means. Come, let us go to Arcad. Ask how we also may acquire income for ourselves. So, you know what? They said, we see somebody who has what we have or what we want. Let's go talk. Because what's the saying? They say give a man a fish, he's good for a day. Teach him how to fish, he's good for life. Same thing in real life. You can apply that to almost any walk of your life, quite frankly. Thou speakest with true inspiration, Bansir. Thou bringest to my mind a new understanding. Thou makest me to realize the reason why we have never found any measure of wealth. We never sought it. Thou hast labored patiently to build the staunchest chariots in Babylon. To that purpose was devoted your best endeavors. So Bansir is good at what he does. He's really talented. Why is he broke? Therefore, at it thou didst succeed. I strove to become a skillful lyre player, and at it I did succeed. So these are competent men. Just because you don't have wealth does not mean you're not competent. Never think that, all right? Never allow that thought to enter your medulla. You dig what I'm saying? Yes. In those things towards which we exerted our best endeavors, we succeeded. The gods were content to let us continue thus. Now, at last, we see a light, bright like that from the rising sun. It biddeth us to learn more than we may prosper more. With a new understanding, we shall find honorable ways to accomplish our desires. Big X-nay on the honorable. You know what I'm saying? Because there's an Arabic saying that I really like, and it says the same hand that you take with is the same that will take from you in turn. So you might get away with it for I don't know how long, but it's always gonna come back. You know what I'm saying? The world, the universe, don't forget Newton's third. Actually, you know what? Let me get back to y'all on that, because I forget if it was the second or the third. Or was it the first? No, the first one is an object in motion stays in motion. The second one is, I believe, energy cannot be destroyed, only converted. We'll have to revisit this, actually, in episode 4. Forgive me, friends. All right, where was I? Let's go to Arcad this very day, Bansir urged. Also, let us ask other friends of our boyhood days who have fared no better than ourselves to join us, that they too may share in his wisdom. I love this because this is a whole team can eat. Like, there's enough food on the table for everybody to eat. If they could be like this 6,000 years ago, why can't we be like that now? You feel me? Think about it. Thou wert ever thus thoughtful of thy friends, Bansier. Therefore hast thou many friends. It shall be as thou sayest. We go this day and take them with us. So we got a new mission, friends. Bansier and Kobe are about to go get that wealth. But not the wealth itself, the knowledge they need to acquire the wealth. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Yes. In the next episode of Books with Bib, we will be covering who is Arkad, the richest man in Babylon, which is exactly the title of the next chapter. I gotta go get ready. My artist has a performance. I hope you all enjoyed this short listen. Actually, this might be my longer episode. But thank you again for tuning in. It means a lot. And Brother Bib out. See you guys in episode 4. Let's find out who this rich man is. And then let's find out how he got rich. Because that's what we're here for, right? Thank you for staying with me. Books with Bib out. Enjoy the rest of your day.